Hello everybody, I hope that all of you are doing super well, and today we need to talk about the EVO events showcase for Fatal Fury because it was like actually insanely high quality. The developers just dropped so many information about the future of the game, being super transparent, and we also had a ton of matches, with a build of the game that has the full roster, being played by top players, so it was very entertaining to watch. And I'm basically gonna summarize everything that happened, so stay until the end of the video to know everything about the future of Fatal Fury, and let's get into it. Okay, so the biggest bomb that the developers dropped at the event is basically related to the roster of characters in the game, and there's multiple points that we need to talk about in this specific topic. The first one is that this game actually has confirmed 3 season passes, so we can basically assume that we're gonna get new characters for this game all the way until 2028, because one season pass tends to be for around a year, and we have 3, so we can basically assume that we can play Fatal Fury as an actively developed game from the point of release to 2028. And this is only the confirmed. We can maybe get even more depending on the level of success that the game has. The second topic is that they openly said that this game is going to be the quintessential Fatal Fury experience. So this is basically going to be the modern Fatal Fury for years to come. And with this, they had confirmed that maybe everyone that is related to the franchise is coming back. So if you're afraid, because we got Salvatore and Cristiano, so we didn't get, for example, Freeman on the base roster, you are going to get Freeman as DLC. It is basically impossible that the classic Garou characters and the more iconic Fatal Fury characters are not going to be back. Like, all of them are going to come back one way or another, which is a really good news because we're basically confirming that if you're a fan of Fatal Fury, maybe even Art of Fighting, also maybe KOF, the chances of getting a ton of new characters and everyone coming back so we can get basically the ultimate Fatal Fury in modern age of fighting games is basically happening. Immensely good news basically for any SNK fan and also people that want to get into SNK fighting games, because all of this translates into saying, Fatal Fury is going to be a great product. It's going to have a ton of characters, a ton of returning classics, and it's going to have a gigantic roster of characters for you to try and play and enjoy. It's probably going to have very active updates, so it's going to be very easy to enjoy this game if you actually buy it and like it. So for anyone that is actually excited for this game, it's gonna be a great time for a lot of years. And the last detail also related to characters is that we're gonna get a new character in this game every 2 months, which is absolutely insane. It's such good news because one of the biggest criticisms for Street Fighter 6 and also maybe even Tekken 8 is that the release window for DLCs is so big. It feels like an eternity to get a new character, so getting a new one every 2 months and basically such high quality characters, Andy, Joe, Ken, Chun-Li, Mr. Big, is going to be extremely hype and fun. It's going to keep the game fresh and it's going to be a very fun experience to get new characters very frequently. So huge props to SNK for everything that they're doing related to characters. And we have even more news. This is not the only thing, okay? We have lane battles back, okay? Which is really great. Having lane battles back is amazing for any, legacy Fatal Fury player. It's going to feel very good to have some stages that have the lane design, and have that sort of 2.5D interactions in the space, which is really great. It gives the game more deepness. It gives legacy players something to also look forward to, even if they are also enjoying everything else. And it gives the game more things to learn, which is always good. When you have a fighting game and you have more and more stuff to learn in it, it basically makes everything feel fresh. So I think that it's actually a great decision to have the lane battle system present in this game with some stages so that people can enjoy the old classic, 2.5 movement of Fatal Fury, but also play a general 2D game, so it's great. I think that it is a great addition to the game. And then we have another couple of news that are a little smaller but still very significant, and the first one is that we're gonna have a jukebox just like we had in KOF 15, which is amazing. I love the jukebox on KOF 15 because it lets you put any music that you want in your menu and stuff like that, which is very fun. It gives a more customization experience to the game. And music, SNK music is pretty good, so I'm actually very happy that we're gonna have a jukebox. Then connected to, smaller news, we're also going to have earlier access to basically this game if we pre-order it. So even though the game comes out in the 24th, I think if I'm not mistaken, only 2 weeks away, we actually can play the game earlier if we pre-order it. I already bought my pre-order after the second beta, when they fixed the matchmaking and the netcode. To me, that was more than enough to buy the game because I love the gameplay on it, and now with this news, I'm even more excited for it. So super happy that we can have some early access days, to enjoy the game before the official release. And last, they actually tease like a mechanic, you know, for future seasons, which is ring out. Okay, maybe we're gonna have ring out mechanics in Fatal Fury in the future, maybe season 2 or season 3 or at the end of season 1. I don't know how is it gonna look. I don't really remember if there were any ring outs in older Fatal Furies, even though I played some of them. It's still very exciting, you know, to see that they're actually looking forward to the game. They are thinking within the future of this game. They're trying to make it interesting, engaging. So it's just amazing that all of this happened in one dev talk. Like, so many information, so much transparency. I just love it, and I hope that this game has a bright future. And well, the last topic that I wanted to talk about is related to the matches. A lot of people played, you know, like matches with this build of the game that has the full roster, and some people play Cristiano and Salvatore. And to me, those were the highlights, because a lot of people hate those characters, you know, they hate that they are on the base roster, that they are taking away technically a couple of spots from OG characters, even though the devs just said openly that everyone is coming back. But when I saw the gameplay for both Cristiano and Salvatore, I was actually like pleasantly surprised. They both look very fun to play because they look very goofy, so it's actually like hilarious to see the characters play. And they actually look fairly strong, like they don't look weak. Salvatore, of course, looks like extremely, you know, as a joke, like it is a very clearly a joke character, and Cristiano is more like in the middle. But I think that they actually look very fun to play, so I'm actually kind of excited to try them out, because even though they got a very bad reputation in terms of marketing, because not everybody wants them in the game, I think that it is actually very, very good to have an open mind, and basically when you try the game, maybe try those characters out. Maybe you're gonna love them because of how they play. At least when it comes to the gameplay, you know, seeing some top level players like Diaphone and ET try them out, the characters look very fun, man. They look hilarious. So I'm super excited for that, and I'm super excited for basically the future of the roster of Fatal Fury with all the news that they just talked about. Is very exciting. And well, just to close, you know, the discussion out, it seems like SNK is actually trying, you know, to actively attack all the criticisms that were present in the older games and also in modern fighting games. You know, we're gonna get frequent DLC, 2 months every character, which is a big criticism for SF6, for Tekken 8, and for other modern FGs. We are also going to get a game that has good defense, which is basically the main criticism for most modern fighting games, that they are too excessively offensive and flowcharty. And Fatal Fury has good defense. The matchmaking and the netcode were fixed during second beta on a month. You know, there was a month between the first beta and the second beta, and everything got fixed. The netcode and the matchmaking worked well. At least for me, during the second beta, they work very well. Also, like, we're gonna get everyone back, you know, like a ton of legacy characters, which is also a criticism for other games, that we're getting new characters or guest characters that we don't like. They have received that criticism. Tekken 8 got that criticism with Clive. So it is actually very clear that they are actively trying to make this game what the fighting game community wants it to be, which is amazing. So I just hope that Fatal Fury is very successful, that it has a big launch and it sells very well, so SNK can keep doing very good fighting games. And what do you think about this game? It is starting to look like it is a very good game, so let me know in the comments what you think, and see you on the next video, guys.
Not anymore, of course.
This is all right. Still got the life lead. Go fireballs.
Has to be careful with those fireballs.
Oh! That's textbook KOF. Kill the ninja.
He says, I'm not a ball player, bro. I don't know ball.
Yeah, this is karate, bro.